The gentleman in the third row.
Shamsul Haq, Frankfurt Neue Presse. Sir, thank you very much. What is your planning for the next G20 summit?
What is my, sorry?
What is the planning for G20?
The plan is to hold a summit later this year. We will announce the venue in a few days' time. The desire is to review the decisions that we have made today and their implementation so that we move forward as quickly as possible with the recovery of the economy. And of course, if we have found that more needs to be done, we will take action when we meet again later this year. But I think today people will be surprised by the scale of resources that the international community is making available. They'll also, I think, be surprised and pleased by the action that we have united, in a united way, agreed on banking secrecy, on remuneration, on the structure of banking for the future, on the use of tax havens, the use of the shadow banking system. All these things, the world was able to come together for the first time to agree new measures that will be implemented in many cases immediately.
Gentleman on the far left.
Prime Minister, Steve Sedgwick from CNBC. The World Bank estimates that since the November meeting in Washington, 17 of the 20 G20 members have actually added protectionist measures to the tune of 47 implemented measures that restrict trade. Do you anticipate after today we're going to see more than just a commitment to free trade and actually a reversal of those anti-free trade measures?
Well, I'm pleased you've asked that, because we did have a report from Pascal Lamy, the Director General of the World Trade Organization. And while there have been infringements, his view is that they have not been substantial infringements, and he is trying by his actions to roll these infringements back. And I think the members were made very much aware that action that is protectionist will be named and shamed, if you like, and at the same time, just to push trade forward, we will not only resist protectionist measures, but we will make it possible for people who want to trade, want to export, want to import, want lines of credit for trading to actually have the resources that are sadly lacking at the moment. So this injection of 250 billion to keep trade rolling forward, credit lines that are needed for companies in different parts of the world, is a substantial boost to world trade and really shows that we are anxious to do everything we can to resist protectionist tendencies.
Tom Bradby, ITN.
Prime Minister, Tom Bradby from ITV News. There's been some good economic signs from America last week, some good economic signs from Britain today, now this. Do you feel bullish enough tonight to say that this could be the beginning of the end of the crisis? With respect, I don't mean should it be, I mean do you feel bullish enough to say that it could be?
There is no quick fix, but there is a determination to do whatever is necessary. Now, I've said that that's what I wanted to do in Britain, but now we've got the rest of the world saying we will do whatever is necessary. And by injecting more resources into the world economy, we will create more jobs. We will ensure that businesses can invest more and they can expand rather than contract. And we will, of course, be able to help homeowners worried about their mortgages and make sure that people can be more confident in a financial system in which previously they'd lost trust. So we're restructuring the banking system with new principles. Remuneration is changing in the banks. People can have more confidence that not just Britain, but the whole of the rest of the world is now addressing these financial failures that have cost us so much damage. And I believe that as a result of that, then the recovery, which is much needed in every part of the world, will advance faster.
Gentleman in the second row on the far left.
Thank you. Rich Yang of China Central Television. Mr. Prime Minister, you mentioned earlier at the beginning of your speech that the era of Washington consensus is over, but certainly the era of Washington currency is not. The Chinese central banker actually proposed a global international reserve currency. I was wondering if this was a topic at the discussion by the world leaders at the G20 summit, and what is your personal view on such a possibility? Should we worry about the depreciating dollar and a possibly depreciating euro? Thank you.
We are reviewing the future of the International Monetary Fund and the World Bank and the role that international institutions will play in the future. And with the G20 finance ministers, I'm going to be leading a review that will report to the next meeting. But I have to say that issues about international currency have not led to detailed proposals from anyone. What I think people want to see is our international institutions able to come in and help when countries are in difficulty and make sure that there is more confidence in the international financial system as a whole. So yes, we will look at every proposal that comes forward. Yes, we do not have detailed proposals on that, but I think people are looking for more from the international institutions, that they themselves can not only provide resources for the world economy, but they can instill confidence that there will be no more international financial failures in the future.
We have Alan Fisher from Al Jazeera, please.
Prime Minister Alan Fisher from Al Jazeera English. We've heard a great deal in the last few months how deceit has caused the problems that we are now facing globally. Are you being totally honest with the people of the world to say that there has been genuine agreement here when we know there have been a number of splits among the G20, and also that there is a one-size-fits-all agreement for 20 countries who are at different points in the economic cycle, different points in the global recession as well?
But isn't that what's remarkable, that you can have countries that would never even have sat round the table a few years ago, coming round a table and coming to agreements? The reason we've got to meet together and come to agreements is that unlike a few years ago when you could run national financial systems without thinking about what was happening in the rest of the world, every bank affects every other bank, and a bad bank in one country affects good banks in every country. So that's why we've got to come together, so that we have rules and supervision on financial institutions that are global. We have that cross-border regulation that is necessary. We have the international regulators coming together so that we know what's happening, not just in one continent, but all continents. And I believe people will be encouraged by the fact that China and India and Japan and many countries from Asia, Latin America, Brazil and Argentina, then Mexico, Africa, South Africa and the African Union, then the European countries, Russia as well, and of course the United States of America, we've all been able to come together in a way we could never have done even a year or two ago to decide quite detailed proposals that will reshape the global financial system for a long time. I must say I've been proposing some of these for 10 years, but we've achieved more in 10 weeks as a result of people coming to terms with the need for change in the international financial system.
Gentleman in the fourth row.
Mr. Isaac Aripidis from Athena TV Greece. I heard you saying that you are going to help the poorest countries. I was wondering if you are going to protect as well countries like Greece from bankruptcy, and if you are going to do that, in what extent? Unlimited or not? Thank you.
Well, I think it's true to say that interest rates have been coming down in the Eurozone area, of which Greece is part, and that there has been a major stimulus to both economies within the euro area and to trade as a result of what has been agreed within the European Union. And I believe that the measures that we're taking collectively right across the world will actually help Greece's economy as well, because if we can restore financial confidence in our banking system, then every country benefits. And if we can inject more international resources into our economies, then the benefit goes beyond the emerging markets or developing countries. It benefits us all. Look at the Marshall Plan after the Second World War. Money was spent in America, sent to Europe to invest in the reconstruction of Europe. The beneficiaries of that were not just the European countries who got the money, but the trade that then flowed between Europe and America. And there is this injection of resources, done this time internationally, and it will have a benefit to all countries, whether you're developing countries, emerging markets, or whether you're industrialized countries like Greece is as part of the European Union.
Andy Porter from the Daily Telegraph, please.